We can handle all online courses, business and management, business and finance, business and accounting, human resource management.
Welcome to my YouTube channel IT Guides. In today's session, we are tackling Chapter 5 of recently launched Excel 2022 course, focusing on Cumulative Merchandise 1.1. I will guide you through this assignment step by step, making it easy for you to follow, and you can done your assignment by watching this video. You can contact me for your assignments, exams, or complete courses. Don't hesitate to connect for support in various courses. Let's start this assignment and solve step by step. Title of assignment is XP22 Excel Chapter 5 Cumulative Merchandise 1.1. You can see project description here to get idea about your assignment. Moving to the first step, that is about Start Excel. Download and open the file name XP22 Excel Chapter 5 Cumulative Merchandise. Grader has automatically added your last name to the beginning of the file name. You can download this file from IT Lab dashboard. I have already downloaded and opened this file. So move to the next step, that is step number 2. Step number 2 is about your first task is to sort the datasets on the apparel worksheet. Ensure the apparel worksheet is active. Sort the data by week in alphabetical order and further sort it by category in alphabetical order. So in this step, we have to just sort our data on apparel worksheet. We have to sort the data by week in alphabetical order and then by category in alphabetical order. Go to the Excel worksheet. First of all, we will ensure that our apparel worksheet should be active. Now we have to sort the data. We have to sort the data by week. In the Home tab, go to the Editing group and click on Sort and Filter. Click Custom Sort. Here we have to add the label. So we have to sort by week in alphabetical order. Second, we have to further sort it by category. So we will add the second label by category and sort it also alphabetical order. Move to the next step, that is step number 3. Step number 3 is about you want to focus on apparel sales within 1 month. You will insert subtotal rows to display total sales by week 1 and 2 and by category hoodie and t-shirt. Use the subtotal feature to insert subtotal rows by week to calculate the totals for QTY sold and gross revenue. Add a second subtotal without removing the first subtotal by category to calculate the totals for QTY sold and gross revenue. So we have to add the subtotal features that will calculate our total for QTY sold and gross revenue by week. Then we will insert a second subtotal without removing the first subtotal, just by changing the week with category. Go to the Excel worksheet. We have to add subtotal features. Go to the Data tab. In Outline group, click on Subtotal. We will add the subtotal by week to calculate the total. So we will choose the function of the sum. And we have to calculate total for QTY sold and gross revenue. So we will select the QTY sold and gross revenue. Click OK. So it will insert the subtotal feature on our data. We have to insert the subtotal feature again or add the second subtotal without removing the subtotal by category. So we will again insert the subtotal by category and calculate the total. So we will choose the function of the sum for the QTY sold and gross revenue. For same column, we don't want to replace the current subtotal, so we will uncheck this box. Click OK. So here it supplies the second subtotal on our data. Step number 3 is completed now. Move to the next step, that is step number 4. Step number 4 is about to focus on the gross revenue. You will apply an outline and collapse column. Create an automatic outline and collapse the outline above gross revenue. In this step, we have to just group the data by creating an automatic outline and then collapse the outline above gross revenue. Go to the Excel worksheet. Here we want to group data and create an automatic outline. So in the outline group, click on group and show the option auto outline. Click on it. It will ask us from modify the existing outline. Yes, click OK. So it will add the outline. We have Now we have to collapse it from gross revenue. So collapse it, it will hide these columns. Move to the next step, that is step number 5. Step number 5 is about next you want to create a blank pivot table and then name it. Display the Qatar 1 worksheet and create a blank pivot table on a new worksheet. Do not add data to the data model. Name the pivot table Qatar 1 cells. Change the name of the worksheet to cells pivot table. So in this step, we have to just display the Qatar 1 worksheet and create a blank pivot table, which will be on a new worksheet. We don't have to add the data model and then rename the pivot table and worksheet. So go to the Excel worksheet. First of all, we will ensure that our Qatar 1 worksheet should be active. On the Qatar 1 worksheet, we have to insert the pivot table. Go to the Insert tab. In the Tables group, click on Pivot Table. Now we want to create a pivot table on new worksheet. So our new worksheet checkbox should be active. Go to the click on OK. Now we have to rename the pivot table with Qatar 1 cells. We will just rename the pivot table that is shown in pivot table groups. So we will rename it from pivot table 1 to Qatar 1 cells. Now rename the worksheet to cells pivot table. So for renaming the sheet, do right click on sheet name, click on rename, and from here we will rename the sheet. Step number 5 is completed now. Move to the next step, that is step number 6. Step number 6 is about the pivot table should determine the total number of items sold and the total gross revenue by category for the first quarter. Place the category field in rows, place the gross revenue and QTY sold field has value. So now we have to just add the fields in our pivot table. So first of all, we have to place the category field in row. Go to the Excel worksheet again, select the category field and replace it in row area. Again, select the gross revenue field and QTY sold field and place it in values. So we will select the gross revenue and QTY sold and place these fields are in values area. Step number 6 is completed. Move to the next step, that is step number 7. Step number 7 is about you will format the values in the pivot table to look more professional and change the custom names that display as column headings. Modify the sum of gross revenue field with custom name, total gross revenue, and apply accounting number format with 0 decimal places. In this step, we have to just change the custom name for the gross revenue field and then format it with accounting number and set the decimal places 0. So we have to select this text. Now we have to just change the custom name for gross revenue field. Go to the Excel worksheet. Here in values group, sum of gross revenue field is show. Go to the value field setting. Here we will change the name, custom name from total gross revenue. We have to format it with accounting number format 0 decimal places. So we will select accounting number format and 0 decimal places. Click OK, then again click on OK. Now we have to move the next step, that is step number 8. Step number 8 is about modify the sum of QTY sold field with the custom name total QTY sold. Apply the number format with 0 decimal places and select the use 1000 separator option. So now in this step we have to just change the custom name of QTY sold field and then format it with accounting with number format and set the 0 decimal places. Go to the Excel worksheet. Here we will select the sum of QTY sold. Go to the value field settings. We will change the custom name total QTY sold. So we will change the custom name and change the formatting with 0 decimal places. So click on number format and here we will select the number and 0 decimal places and also check this box to use the 1000 separator. Click OK, double click. So step number 8 is done now. Move to the next step, that is step number 9. Step number 9 is about now you want to insert a timeline so that you can filter the pivot table by month. Insert a timeline for the month field. Click or select the March to filter the pivot table to display only March data. Cut the timeline and paste it in cell A9. Set the timeline width to 3.3 inches. In this step, basically we have to just insert a timeline for the month field and then click just on March to filter the pivot table so that it display only March data. Then we have to move the timeline in cell A9 and set its width to 3.3 inches. Go to the Excel worksheet. We have to insert a timeline, so go to the Insert tab. In filter groups, we have to timeline. So click on it. We will select our data, go to the Insert tab and now click on timeline. So it will display month. We have to insert a timeline for months. So check this box and click OK. It will display the timeline. Now we have to select the March to filter the pivot table so that it display only March data. So in timeline we will select just March so that our table should display only March data. Cut the timeline and paste it in cell A9. Do right click on it and cut it. Paste it in cell A9. Paste it in cell A9. We have to just set the width of the timeline to 3.3 inches. Select the timeline. In the Options tab, we have to size of the timeline. So here we have to set the width of the timeline to 3.3. So we will decrease it and set it to 3.3. Step number 9 is completed now. Move to the next step, that is step number 10. Step number 10 is about you want to create a pivot chart to display percentages in a pie chart. Insert a pivot chart pie chart that depicts the categories and gross revenue. Cut the chart and paste it in cell D1. In this step, we have to just insert the pie chart of the pivot chart that will depict the categories and gross revenue, and then we have to move the chart in cell D1. Go to the Excel worksheet. We will select the pivot chart data. Go to the Insert tab. In the chart groups, here we will show the pivot chart option. Click on it. We will select the pivot chart and it will ask us from that we have to create a which type of chart. So we have to create a pie chart of the pivot chart. So we will select pie chart and click OK. Now our pie chart is created. We have to cut the chart and paste it in cell D1. So do right click on the chart and click on cut. Paste it in cell D1. Step number 10 is completed now. Total steps in this assignment is 25. I have done 10 steps by completing each and every detail given in the instruction of these steps. For remaining steps of these assignments are help in another assignments, exams, quizzes, our entire course covering Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Access, Finance Management, Information Technology, and more. Feel free to get in touch. Contact me through provided email or WhatsApp given in the description and display on the screen and make deal with me. I assure you for achieving an A grade in all your courses. Thanks for watching my videos. Please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the videos. Thank you.